नमस्कार guys, my name is Shlokउव.
नमस्कार, मी मंदार निरगुडकर.
And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about a lot more interesting topics, slightly controversial topics as well, hopefully. Let's
I
start.
would say rather than controversial, little disturbing maybe for some people. So, see, this is the question I was wanting to ask you, or rather seeking an answer for this since a very long time. Now, most of this world is, I think, divided into people who believe in God, people who don't believe in God. So, major, let's say about 50% of the world doesn't believe in God. So, they are atheists. Okay. Now, my point is not about whether God exists or not, whether you want to believe them or not, not believe. My point is that let's take like a beginning of the world scenario in which we assume God was not the creator and God doesn't exist. So God doesn't exist since let's remove God out of the whole context, out of the whole equation. So now let's view the world. Let's view the world in a different way now. So now, what do you think will happen?
So the first to distinguish between atheism and theism, according to what Western philosophies are and Indian philosophy. Western philosophy, theism means that you exist, that you believe that some God exists. Atheism is that you don't believe that a God exists. Right? Agnostic are those people who think that God doesn't exist until they are proved. I think that's what most people are nowadays. But if they're proved see God exists, and if they have a personal experience, then maybe they'll start believing. That's what most people are, according to me. But in our Hindu philosophy, in Indian philosophy, we do not have a concept of God not existing. Because in Hinduism, divinity can be found everywhere. So according to the Gnostic philosophy, the Gnostic here doesn't mean atheist. The textbook definition of what Gnostic means, that the Gnostic doesn't believe that the Vedas have any authority.
Oh, is it?
That is what Gnostic means. I am a Gnostic. So in his mind, he will think that he's an atheist. But for learned scholars, they will view him as a person who believes that the Vedas do not have any authority. That is why the Gnostic philosophies of Indian philosophy are Buddhism, Jainism, or even the Charvak philosophy. Where basically it is a very materialistic purpose. Hedonist philosophy only for material pleasure and stuff like that. Belief worthies are bolayla gela, then I wouldn't say God. I don't believe that God exists. Because belief is something where you don't know of its existence, where you're not sure of its existence. I myself, I would say that I know that God exists. But if I were to think of a scenario where I remove God from the entire equation, there can be different possibilities, different outcomes.
I'll just break this down for our listeners. Now, what we mean to say is that we are not here debating upon the existence of God. Let's say there's a mathematical equation. And sometimes we have this factor like a x. We assume that x is God. Now we want to just remove x out of the equation. I'm not saying God doesn't exist. God exists, very well exists, but we want to remove it out of the equation. For example, I'll give you a very basic so for people to understand. For example, if God doesn't exist as per Hindu philosophy, then there will be no temples. Because whom to worship? If there are no temples, there will be no priests. If there are no temples and priests, there will be no followers or subscriptions or to the temples or dakshina or whatever it is.
So again, one of the major industries will go.
So Baba culture will go. Maybe it will remain because they are self-proclaimed God men. So maybe these people can flourish. So let's talk about that possibility also. So I want to talk more on that instead of going the debate of.
So have you heard of this concept of an Ubermensch?
Ubermensch? No.
So it is a German word for Superman. So the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, he actually came up with this concept. He declared that God is dead in this modern world. And that us humans, we have killed him. Now, of course, he didn't mean it in the literal way that us humans have slaughtered God, but in a way that in today's day and age, divinity has no purpose, where everyone is a sinner.
Okay.
That for us to truly have a purpose, you do not need a rule or like a law from a bearded old man in the sky.
Right.
But you should rather create your own morals. You should rather be your God yourself. And this person who creates his own morals, who transcends, traditional morality, who basically is Swatach's God, is this guy called Ubermensch. Basically, everyone needs to become an Ubermensch in that philosophy.
But then isn't it related to the Hindu concept of Aham Brahmasmi?
Yeah, Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, so Aham Brahmasmi is a total different concept because it says that God is everywhere. This guy, Nietzsche, is saying
Aham Brahmasmi is like I am God.
I am Brahma.
I am
Parabrahma. Now, it doesn't say that I am God, it says I am of God.
Okay.
So Parabrahma, which is the formless, Nirakar Swarup of God, the same tattva is in our soul.
Okay.
That is why essentially we are that. I am that.
Right.
Tattvamasi.
Right.
You are that.
Yes.
So that is a different concept. Here, because that makes you divine. Here, we are not trying to be divine. It is the same concept of Ram and Krishna.
Right.
Because Ram shows how God can be human. Krishna shows how human can be divine.
Wow.
That is what an Ubermensch is.
Okay.
One who destroys basic morality. Because morality is not defined by God. Right and wrong isn't told by God.
Society.
And then again, if you remove God from all the equation, then everything is permitted.
Yeah, because there's no heaven and hell.
There's no heaven and hell.
There's no punishment, no records kept.
Yeah.
There is no. What about, interestingly, the most famous word on Instagram is karma.
Right.
So, so what happens to karma then?
Karma is more of a game.
Okay.
So, how much ever you do, may it be good or bad, you're going to get rewards of it, good or bad. Consequences.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that if I pinch you, I'm going to get a pinch back right now. But more or less, if I do certain good deeds, then maybe in my next life, I'm going to fulfill, I'm going to enjoy those consequences of my good deeds. So, and the reason why moksha exists is because of karma. Shauti, the main concept is that the soul experiences everything. Shauti, as it completes all the karmic cycles, it needs to do all good cycles, it needs to do all bad cycles as well.
Okay.
If you only do good deeds, you'll go to heaven. If you only do bad deeds, you'll go to hell. But when your karmic energy is zero, that is when you truly become neutral. That is when you transcend beyond the gunas.
Okay.
Now, if God doesn't exist, then you won't have this concept of karma.
So, yeah, karma won't exist.
Karma won't exist.
Now, I'll try to just take you a little bit backwards. You said that karma, if you pinch me, and then I won't pinch you back immediately, but somewhere you'll get the consequences.
Yeah.
You said in the next life.
Yeah.
Now, I believe it's only Hindu philosophy which believes in life cycles.
Yeah. And Buddhist philosophy. Because
philosophy.
Like major Indian philosophies believe in
So, but then how does karma apply to people who don't believe, or just that it applies but they don't think it applies?
Yeah, they don't think it applies. Now, Atha, just because you don't see so let's say I took a spoonful of ocean water, and I'm saying that shark doesn't exist in the ocean because my spoonful of water doesn't have a shark in it. That's right, just because me asa bagtoy to a situation, that doesn't mean it has a broader aspect.
Now, so do you mean to say that many religions who don't believe in the karmic cycle or birth cycles are viewing life as that?
So now in our philosophy, it doesn't say that if you don't believe in our creator, then you'll go to hell.
No. I'm not talking about the creator. I'm talking about this cycle of life and death and taking rebirth. Not life and death, rebirth cycle. So let's name a few religions which do not believe in rebirth.
So, Christianity, Islam.
Okay. So what is their argument? I'm sure somebody must have asked them.
What Christianity says is that if you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then you attain heaven. You attain the highest pleasure. which is fine. There is no concept of reincarnation.
No, but Christ himself was reincarnated, right?
Yeah, but because Christ wasn't reincarnated. Christ was resurrected. He rose from the dead. If one guy dies and if he comes back alive, that is resurrection. He is not reincarnated. Reincarnated म्हणजे पुन्हा जन्म घेतला त्याने, which didn't happen.
Okay.
And then
from the same body.
Yeah, in the same body, right?
Okay. Cool.
And then if you don't believe in Christ and if you indulge in those 7 deadly sins, then you go to hell, which is still fine, like makes sense. Islam is the concept is a bit different. That when you die, you basically are in the state of limbo until the day of judgment, and at the day of judgment, everyone gets awakened. Just again, dead bodies there. They are alive for this one period called the day of judgment. And this day of judgment, then Allah or like God decides, okay, if will this guy attain Jannah or Jahannam, like heaven or hell. That is the story. So these guys do not believe in the concept of reincarnation, but that doesn't mean that they are going to get reincarnated. They will get reincarnated. No, I can be, there can be a very good Christian who might think that he is going to heaven. He is heaven.
Okay.
He is going to go to heaven because he is a good Christian. So if he is doing all good deeds, if he is doing all good karma, he will go to heaven. But like in my understanding, in my philosophy, he will go to my heaven. He'll go to the heaven that is temporary. He will enjoy the fruits of his actions, but he has to come back until his karmic energy is 0.
Okay. Got it. So now let's come back to the concept of removing God.
Right.
So I believe that most people believe in God, trust in God, pray to God for one single thing. This is going to be disturbing now.
Right.
Fear. Now, if you break down fear, I believe I have dissected every type of fear, and ultimately the fear is of the unknown. My belief, you can share your thoughts. What is the unknown? First, death, the foremost. Because you don't know death, you're scared of it. Right. Tomorrow, if somebody tells you that death is just like changing your class, or you just, changing your school, basically.
Right. But when death comes in front of you, then you're shit scared. That's the situation.
I'm assuming because that's what we see in movies, because we have not experienced death.
Right.
So we don't know how it feels like. But if somebody tells you that, yeah, maybe for 5 minutes you're going to feel all the pain, but after that you're going to go through that white, amazing light, and at the end of it you're going to feel very light and no body and no pains of the body and aches and whatever, you might always want to go through that 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe.
So again, that's the fear. Right. Now fear of unknown is also, for example, we pray as students to God after giving the exam that let me pass.
Right.
Now your exam is done, whatever your fate is sealed. Okay. The day you have written the exam, the fate is sealed.
Right.
Yes, a minor 1% may have a recorrection and whatever. That's forget about that. But 99% your fate is sealed. Right. So what is the point of praying after you've written the exam?
Right.
No point. It's just to stabilize your mind. So you have patience till the results come out.
Right.
So again, unknown. You don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
So same applies to everything. So if you remove God, will fear also get eradicated? Or something else will take its place?
Amazing question, honestly. We know fear because we know certain experiences. Technically, what you said is
fear.
Fear, yeah. So all fear essentially traces back to the fear of death. Maybe death of the physical body or death of the ego.
Death of the ego. Okay.
Right? So now, if you consider God out of the equation, God doesn't exist, then we as individuals would still be scared of death. Now, for an atheist who doesn't feel that God exists, he still fears death, doesn't he? Because what he fears is not what's going to happen after death, but what he fears is what's exactly the process, because you're going to feel pain, tremendous amount of pain.
No, but
might happen in a second or might take a long enough time.
What is believed generally is that how you live your entire life. Basically, I believe that life is not life itself. Life is a preparation for death.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if you assume that concept that life is a preparation for death, how have lived how you have lived your life will determine those final 1 month, 1 day, or 1 hour, or 1 minute of death.
Right.
It is said that at the time of death, the whole life flashes back
in front of you.
I'm not too sure about that. But then, will we take each step so consciously that because I'm going to die someday and I'm going to feel a lot of pain because I've not been good all my life, will I still act in a good way, considering God is out? No heaven, no hell. So only the fear of death. Forget about fear of heaven, hell.
Right. Same thing. Now, suppose if some person, tells me, Shloki, you are going to die in the next 1 month.
And painfully.
Painfully.
Huh.
Then what am I going to do? 2 things. One, I start living ekdam, amazingly, consciously, saganna chan everything.
Yeah.
Second, I just let it happen.
Okay.
There's only 2 things that you can do.
Yeah.
I think.
No, you can die today. Like if you're so anxious, you're so scared of dying that way that you'll die each day. You might die a day prior on the 29th
because of fear.
Because of fear.
See, so fear still exists in the mind of an atheist as well. So I don't think fear has anything linked to do with God, but it is a basic nature
of survival.
Yeah, of survival. Okay. Because all of us has survival instincts. Maybe now animals. Animals don't know God.
Right.
Normal animals.
Yeah.
But still, if you go and scare an animal, he'll get scared.
Yeah.
Now, I've done this many times. I've worn a mask and went in front of dogs, and they do get scared.
Yes. So they try, but that's the survival instinct.
Survival instinct, exactly. So that is what fear is technically.
Okay.
Fear is what you want to survive. That's why you have a reflex action. That's fear, and then that memory gets built up. Okay, I don't want to do this. That's why I'm going to stay away from that.
So
that is fear.
Can we say that fear has nothing to do with God then? Okay,
no,
we have removed
to do with God. Yeah.
So have the religions or the society linked fear, entwined fear and God together?
Do you know what's the biggest religion right now, as of now? Biggest religion, it's control. It is not about Christianity, nor is it about Islam, nor is it about Judaism or Hinduism. Nothing.
Okay.
Religion in its entirety is, in today's day and age, it's about control.
Okay.
The reason why big spiritual leaders of different, I'm not including Hinduism as a religion here because it is Sanatan Dharma.
Right.
It's a way of life, not a religion.
Right.
So the reason why fear has been instigated in the minds of people: do this, you'll get this. Do this, you'll get heaven. Don't do this, you'll get hell.
Right.
You'll spend your entirety of time in a place where you'll get burnt alive, you'll get beaten up.
Right.
Follow me, you will get this. What kind of God needs to be praised? If God is all powerful, all pervasive, everywhere, omnipotent, omnipresent, why does he need to be praised?
No, frankly, I think it was one of our discussions offline that, for example, Vishnu. By the concept of Vishnu, maybe we can have another podcast on the magnanimity of Vishnu one day.
Okay.
But Vishnu is so magnanimous. Like probably all the universes and multi-universes, everything combined might be just a small fraction for him. And then he's at the top of the whole thing and bottom. So frankly, no matter how much hard you pay, he probably doesn't even...
So that's what cosmic indifference is, right?
Cosmic indifference,
yeah. Now, like, the example that I gave the other day was like, suppose if I have an ant, and if the ant is calling out to me, I am not going to give a single shit about what the ant is saying. I don't care about the ant. But then again, if I have like 10,000 ants who are crawling around me at all time, then maybe I will look at them.
Yeah.
So that is what you do in. So if you call out to God, he technically shouldn't listen to you. Because why? He is very transcendental. But then if you do certain sadhanas, if you have a certain way of following him, then he will have a certain way of... It is all about resonance.
Okay.
You have to tune into his frequency for your amplitude to be maximum.
Okay. Now, we can have another podcast as well on sadhanas and how to appease God, pray to God. Now, we had a discussion on what if we remove God from the equation.
Right.
Basically, fear is not linked to God.
Fear is not.
So even if we remove God from the equation, a few businesses will collapse.
Yep.
The control business or the
So okay, so what you're trying to say is you remove God out of the equation right now, as of now, like God disappears, or are you saying that God didn't exist?
No,
from the starting?
now because
Okay,
if it doesn't exist from the starting,
then I think we would have adapted to.
We easily adapt.
I think we would have made a new God, honestly.
Some replacement.
Replacement, yeah.
Because see, human mind is about replacement. So now, if we remove God today, like from
today
tomorrow,
itself,
like what your this thing, the German philosopher, I forgot his name. Nietzsche. He says God is dead, and everybody believes God is dead. From tomorrow morning, nobody goes to the temple, church, masjid, whatever it is. Then what happens? Only a few businesses will collapse.
Right.
Apart from that, what will happen? People lose their.
Do you think faith would collapse if God is dead?
No, I think we'll immediately find a replacement. Maybe we'll go to ocean and say water God exists now, or water is a form of God. Maybe which is
of course in the Vedic day and age, the natural forces of the universe were considered as gods. It wasn't until when the later Vedic age came along, when the Purans started to. Now in the Rig Veda, who's the main deity of Rig Veda? Major Zodevata, Indra.
Wow.
We don't hear anything about Indra right now. So in the Rig Veda, there are around 250 plus hymns on Indra. And guess how many hymns on Vishnu? Around 90.
Wow.
Because at that time, well, now if you,
Indra is the power of light, right?
No. He's the king of all gods.
Okay.
And his weapon is the thunderbolt. So Zeus, basically, parallel to Zeus. Now, if you think that why Indra, why not Vishnu during the early Vedic age, is because people back then, a long time ago, why would they be in the need of transcendence? When the later Vedic age came along, when the people became more and more advanced in spirituality and astrophysics and all these different concepts, that's when we needed the concepts of larger deities, larger than life. But these deities were very much approachable. Indra, Agni, Vayu used to perform yajnas. They used to bless you. That is why he's a very major deity of the Rig Veda and the Vedas. But yeah, definitely, we would find a replacement for God. Fear would be. I mean, like, we still would fear of the unknown and death.
Would people go like rampant, like there is no karma, there is no hell, I would go and kill anybody?
So I think that won't happen because we have a conscience.
Okay.
So in my fifth book, which is called Siddheshwari, I put forward an example of a default man. Okay, so let's say I raised a baby in a room like this. Okay, I put him away from all sorts of like everything. He only knows me, nothing else. I don't teach him anything about the outside world.
Okay.
I don't show him anything of the outside world. I don't teach him about God.
Okay.
Nothing. So all he knows is me. I am God for him. Okay. Now let's say one day, after around, let's say 15 years or so, now this guy is 15 years old, and I let him out of the world, like out of this room. Would he go killing everyone? First thing that he would do is be scared.
Yes.
Because he is seeing everyone. Right. He won't go killing everyone. He won't go burning down buildings.
No. So killing is not about the people who are unconditioned, but I'm talking about the people who are in the society. Why do people kill? Either they are suffering from some disease, or their emotions take the worst of them.
Either for money or for revenge or for
some emotion that you've cheated me. I'm not able to get my money back from you. I'll just kill you. Money is not there, but at least I had my revenge.
But I don't think for the criminals, God is even a aspect, because if it was, then I don't think we would have crime at all. Right. And then again, people use this as a testament against God. Right. That if God exists, then why does crime exist? God doesn't care about your petty crimes.
Right.
Shorty, God gave us free will, and it was us who decided to advocate it against God.
So obviously there is a so everything is destined is totally false.
Yeah. So time is a flat circle. Time
Okay.
is cyclical.
Okay.
We essentially are on the way of completing every single experience that we can. I am going to, in some of my life, I'm going to take birth of this insect flying. In some of my life, I'm going to take birth of tiger. Essentially, मला सगळे माझे experiences complete करायचे.
Is human the last form?
Yeah. So it is as human beings, we are the most topmost species. So
of what we know.
Yeah. Like in our loka, at least, in our dimension.
Yeah.
So for this birth, human birth is said to be the only birth where you can experience moksha consciously. Otherwise, then, the animals and the other deities that have got moksha because of other gods is because the gods had to interfere. But me as a human, I can know God. That is why I can experience moksha. But that doesn't mean that all humans attain moksha.
Not necessarily in that life.
No.
Maybe they
not,
take
of course. Yeah, multiple
lives. Yeah. Superb. I think we had a good discussion.
Yeah. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you think that God exists or no, and what you think would happen if God just disappeared out of the world today itself.
Yeah.
And
that would be interesting to know.
Let's meet in future videos as well, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.